In the heart of the sun-drenched savanna, where the acacia trees whispered secrets to the wind and the baobabs stood like ancient guardians, lived a young woman named Amara. Her village, nestled by the bend of a great, life-giving river, was known for its vibrant celebrations and the warmth of its people. But a great sorrow had fallen upon them. The river, once a roaring, generous friend, had shrunk to a mere trickle. The land grew thirsty, the crops withered, and the once joyful songs of the village women faded into worried whispers. The elders spoke of a prophecy, a story passed down through generations. They said that when the river runs dry, a brave heart must seek the crystal spring at the summit of the forbidden mountain, Mount Silo, where the sky meets the earth. It was said that a single drop from this spring could replenish the greatest river, but no one had ever returned from Mount Silo. Its paths were treacherous, its slopes were home to cunning beasts, and its peak was shrouded in a perpetual, disorienting mist. Amara, whose name meant grace, felt a stirring in her soul. She looked at the weary faces of her family, at the children too weak to play, and a quiet resolve hardened within her. She knew what she had to do. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, she approached the village elders. "I will go," she said, her voice clear and steady, cutting through the somber silence. "I will seek the crystal spring." Gasps rippled through the gathering. Her mother rushed to her side, tears in her eyes, pleading with her not to go. But Amara gently held her mother's hands. "If I do nothing, we will all perish. I must try. I will not go alone. I will take with me the faith of our ancestors and the hope of our people." The next morning, at the first light of dawn, Amara began her journey. She carried a small leather pouch with dried fruits and a gourd for water. Her only guide was the distant, imposing silhouette of Mount Silo against the rising sun. The first part of her journey took her across the barren land, a vast, cracked plain that was once the river's fertile floodplain. The sun beat down relentlessly, and the air was thick with dust. It was a lonely, empty wilderness, a place that could easily swallow one's hope. Doubts began to creep into Amara's mind. The mountain seemed no closer, and her small supply of water was dwindling. She felt small and insignificant in the face of such a vast and unforgiving landscape. Exhausted, she sat under the shade of a lone, skeletal tree. She closed her eyes and whispered a prayer, not to any specific deity, but to the great, guiding spirit of life itself. "Guide me," she pleaded. "Show me the way. I am weak, but my people need me. Lend me your strength." When she opened her eyes, she noticed something she hadn't seen before. A trail of small, shimmering blue pebbles, almost invisible against the dusty ground, led away from the tree, pointing directly towards the mountain. It was as if a celestial hand had scattered a path just for her. A renewed sense of purpose surged through her. This was her sign. She was not alone. Following the trail of pebbles, Amara found her steps becoming lighter. The path led her to a hidden crevice in the earth, where a small, underground stream still flowed, cool and clear. She refilled her gourd, her heart filled with gratitude. This wasn't just water. It was a promise. It was the bread of heaven, feeding her weary soul and body in this barren wilderness. She knew then that her journey was not just about physical strength, but about faith that she was being guided, that provision would be made, even in the most desolate of places. Her journey continued into the dense, tangled jungle at the foot of Mount Silo. Here the air was thick and humid, and strange sounds echoed through the trees. Sunlight struggled to pierce the dense canopy, and shadows danced like menacing spirits. One evening, as she made camp, she heard a low growl from the darkness. Two glowing eyes stared back at her. A great leopard, sleek and powerful, had been stalking her. Fear, cold and sharp, seized her. She was frozen, her hand hovering over the small knife at her belt, knowing it was a pitiful defense. But then she remembered the guidance she'd received in the plains. She took a deep breath, stood tall, and did not show her fear. She looked directly at the leopard and spoke, her voice filled not with aggression, but with a strange, calm authority. "I am Amara," she said. "My journey is one of peace for the sake of my people. I mean you no harm. Let me pass." The leopard tilted its head, its gaze unwavering. For a long moment, the jungle held its breath. Then, with a flick of its tail, the creature turned and melted back into the shadows, as silently as it had appeared. Amara sank to her knees, trembling, but with a profound understanding. A guiding spirit that gave her water also shielded her from death. It was her fire and her cloud, protecting her by day and by night. The final ascent of Mount Silo was the greatest test of all. The paths were narrow and steep, crumbling away into dizzying drops. The air grew thin and cold. And then came the mist. It was a thick, white blanket that swirled around her, erasing the world. She couldn't see the path ahead or the ground below her feet. Every step was a blind leap of faith. Despair, a far more dangerous beast than any leopard, began to claw at her heart. She was lost. The voices of her family, the faces of the village children, seemed like a distant dream. She fell to her knees, the sharp rocks biting into her skin. Tears of frustration and exhaustion streamed down her face. "I can't go on," she cried into the unseeing mist. "I have failed." Her cry was swallowed by the silence. It was in that moment of utter surrender, when her own strength was completely gone, that she felt it. A gentle warmth on her face. She looked up and saw a single brilliant beam of light piercing through the mist, illuminating a narrow ledge just a few feet away. It was the way. With her last ounce of strength, she crawled onto the ledge and followed the beam of light. The mist began to thin, and soon she was standing above it, on the very summit of Mount Silo. Before her was a sight of breathtaking beauty. A crystal-clear pool of water bubbled up from the heart of the mountain, shimmering with an internal light. This was the crystal spring. As she knelt by its edge, her reflection stared back at her, no longer just a village girl, but a pilgrim who had walked through the barren land, faced her deepest fears, and held on to faith when all seemed lost. She dipped her gourd into the spring, and as she lifted it, the water glowed with a soft blue light. The journey down the mountain was different. The mists had cleared, the paths seemed wider, and the jungle animals watched her pass with a quiet respect. When she finally emerged from the trees and saw the plains of her homeland, her heart soared. Her village was in sight. The people saw her coming, a small figure growing larger, holding a glowing gourd aloft. A cry went up, a sound of disbelief, then of joy. Amara walked to the edge of the dry riverbed. With the entire village watching, she poured the single gourd of glowing water onto the cracked earth. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a deep rumble came from the ground. The water from the spring didn't just seep into the soil. It pulsed, it spread, it called to the very soul of the river. From the direction of the mountain, a surge of water began to flow. First a trickle, then a stream, then a powerful current filling the riverbed, roaring back to life. The cheers of the people were deafening. The celebration that night was the greatest the village had ever known. Songs of praise filled the air, not just for Amara, but for the great, unseen guide who had led her. Amara's story became a legend, a living hymn sung to every child. It was a story about courage, yes, but more than that, it was a story about faith. It taught them that even when you walk through a barren land, weak and afraid, there is a guide. When you face your greatest fears, there is a shield. When you are lost in the mist, there is a light. And when your strength fails, a stronger hand is there to hold you up. Her journey was a testament to the fact that we are all pilgrims, and our greatest strength lies in trusting the one who guides our steps. Join me as we sing this timeless hymn. Guide me, O Thou Great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land.
Cloudy pillar, lead me on my journey through. Strong believer, be thou still my strength and shield. Be thou still my strength.